Welcome to EAC Speaks, the podcast where we dive deep into the movement to end the HIV epidemic right here in the heart of the South, Arkansas. I'm your host, Eddie Wiley, and together we're going to explore the stories, insights, and passion that fuels engaging Arkansas community's mission. Join us on this journey as we unite voices and take meaningful steps toward a world free of HIV stigma. Now, get ready for a conversation that matters. This is EAC Speaks. Hello out there in podcast land, and welcome to EAC Speaks, your space for meaningful conversations, connections, a few giggles, and hopefully some inspiration all mixed in together. As the holiday season wraps its warmth around us and the year 2024 draws to a close, I want to take a moment to thank you, our incredible listeners, for being a part of this momentous journey. Now, over the past year, we've shared stories, we've explored challenges, we've celebrated milestones together, and today we're here to reflect on all the things that we've learned and what we can look ahead to the possibilities of the new year in 2025. So, if you're like me, grab a warm cup of cocoa, settle in, and let's make this season brighter with one more beautiful conversation. So, let's get started. Now, we kicked off the year. We kicked off 2024 by exploring how to navigate life's challenges with strength and hope, whether it's our health or our relationships or unexpected detours. We know that life throws us curveballs. But Latoya Murchison joined us to share strategies for resilience and growth and reminding us that we all have the power to overcome no matter what life throws at us. Now, in February, we sat down with the amazing Pamela Lewis, who shared her journey of finding love after an HIV diagnosis. Pamela took us on an inspiring journey, teaching us that love goes beyond romance. It's about advocacy, equity, and care. Her love for her community fuels her fight against HIV stigma and strengthens her advocacy in the work that she does. And if we learned nothing else in February, we learned the power of love. Now, in March, we highlighted the incredible work of community health workers with Whitley Hopkins. We discussed the role of those CHWs in empowering access to care for people with HIV and how they help individuals navigate these complex health systems. Whitley gave us some really great tips on how to support those we know living with HIV, whether you work in the field or whether you are an ally to someone who is a part of the HIV fight. Now, in April, it was all about our youth and how we can engage young people in HIV advocacy, in research, and any other prevention efforts or outreach efforts. Now, Robin Bell of St. Jude pulled up to talk about how we can ensure that the youth have access to treatment and all of the tools that they need to prevent HIV. May, mental health matters, especially when navigating life with HIV, because I know for a while, child, it was a little bit hard for me. For Mental Health Awareness Month, we took a dive deeper into how mental well-being actually intersects with HIV care and even our advocacy. Our guest, Chantal Bryce, shared insights and strategies for prioritizing mental health while we navigate everyday challenges, whether we work in the field, whether we work an everyday job, or no matter where we work, we actually need to prioritize our mental health. Now, June was a vibrant month, y'all. It was full of celebrations and actions. From Little Rock Black Gay Pride to National HIV Testing Day, we talked visibility, we talked empowerment, and the importance of actually knowing your status. Little Rock Black Pride's Deontay and Tarnell shared what pride means to them and the history of Black Gay Pride. And also during the month, we highlighted EAC's own Angel Camper. She joined us to talk about National HIV Testing Day and highlighted some of the milestones that EAC reached in 2024 in their testing efforts. Now, what we know is that stigma is still one of the greatest barriers to ending the HIV epidemic. Zero HIV Stigma Awareness Day was commemorated in July, and we spotlighted how we can break barriers and actually foster inclusive communities. We sat down with EAC's chief servant, aka Executive Director, Danny Harris, who joined us to talk about not only internalized stigma, but the stigma that society can place on people living with HIV. Now, August brought us an open and honest conversation about sex. We talked about sexual health. We talked about pleasure and empowering sexual health conversations with Von Gretchen Robinson. Make sure you check out that episode to see how we can break down taboos and embrace a healthier perspective on sex. During September, we have HIV and Aging Awareness Day. As people with HIV live longer due to the medical advancements, there are new challenges and opportunities that arise because people are living longer, healthier lives. In September, we explored the realities of aging with HIV. Jeff Haskins shared his experience and insights on this evolving conversation that needs to continue to happen. Now, in October, one of my favorite episodes, we took a deeper dive into DoxyPEP, which is a game changer in HIV prevention. We know that DoxyPEP can help prevent and can actually help transform lives by preventing STIs. The medication regimen is something that you can take in order to prevent STI transmission after a sexual encounter. Our guest, Damon Jacobs, pulled up to unpack this important tool and even talk to us about how to access it, who has access to it the most, and how there is a disproportionate release of the medication. And lastly, in November, we honored the power of community. We started off the month with EAC's own Vadi, who stopped by to discuss support groups for Latinx individuals and for folks who don't speak English. And also during the month, my gay mother, Kyra Bonet St. James Cassadine, she stopped by to talk about Black gay families and what it is to be a mother of a family, as well as a Black woman of trans experience. We explored how collective care fosters resilience, hope, and community, as well as the importance of building your own tribe during the month of November. And now, I don't want to be the only one that talks about some fantastic episodes. I want to bring in EAC Speaks producer, Aaron Wallace. What's up, Aaron?
Hey, Eddie. I'm excited to be on this side of it for once.
I know. We get to have you, and you're in the hot seat this time.
I know. I got all year long, I get to listen to the wonderful conversations you have with people and just kind of sit there and not say anything.
You get all the nuggets that I get too, so we're like double the inspired. So tell me, Aaron, what were some of your highlights from 2024? Do you have any favorites?
Well, starting off, the everyone's Spotify list has come out, and the podcast world has one too. And our top episode was episode 19, Navigating Health Services with Whitley.
Yes,
so I was like, okay, all right, come on. 273% listened to that more than our average episode. So that one was a really good one, it seems.
Amazing. There were a lot of great information that Whitley left us with.
But I would say my favorite episode, I love Damon Jacobs. Mm-hmm. And I loved when we talked about reclaiming the word slut.
Yes.
And how it meant sexually liberated using Truvada.
Yes.
And I was just like, ooh, okay, I need that on a shirt now.
Damon really came and dropped a lot of bombs on us too, because we talked about sex in August with Von Gretchen, but Damon really gave us a very deep dive into like sex positivity. And like you said, I love the way that he took that word slut and turned it into something that is more empowering.
Oh yeah, I'm all about reclaiming some words. I love it.
Same. I'll tell you, one of my highlights was also Pamela Lewis.
I was just about that's who I was just about to mention. Anytime I get to hear Pamela speak, it's just wonderful. There's something about her presence that I just sat there, I soak it in. I'm just like, keep telling those stories. I don't know what it is, but it's like I'm listening. It's like she's Oprah to me or something. I'm just like, tell me all the stories. I want to hear them.
She's like EAC's own Oprah. I will give her that title.
Because I've interviewed her multiple times and she's never disappointed. She always, it's like she knows what I'm looking for and she lands it when I need a quote. I'm just like, she makes my job easy.
Okay, we love that. Go Pamela. Shout out to Pamela out there. We have to have her in for 2025.
Of course.
Let's see. Another one of my favorite episodes was talking to Vadi about the importance of building a tribe and building community, and actually beyond that, because he talked about how if you don't see something that you need as support, how you can create that lane for yourself. So even beyond all of the amazing work that he's doing, that message really resonated with me because we hear all the time that doesn't look like me, or I didn't see myself represented. But if you have the charge, then you can actually create it. And there's always a space for more support. So I really appreciated Vadi for bringing that message as well.
Well, that's one thing I love about working with you is you bring all these wonderful people that are all about creating spaces for people who may not have a space. And I just love knowing that we're helping put that out there in the world. Sometimes it's hard to find a space, especially when you're in the South. You have to be a little cautious. If you're looking for that tribe or space for you.
Right. I think it's important to have community as a support, regardless of your HIV status. I think it's really important for your mental health. It's really important for your physical health overall, because I know for me, I get more support when I'm around my tribe, and it helps me to do better when it comes down to anything related to the betterment of myself. Helps me learn quicker how to be more politically correct in a lot of the aspects, because there are so many things that change and so many things that we don't know, because life happens every day. There's always a new something that comes out, whether it's technology, human based, or whatever. So being around my community has actually helped me, and even through some dark times. So I love the community, and love bringing on people who talk about that as well.
And the next few years, we might really be needing those safe spaces and communities. All that, but
sure will.
It's very important that we continue to highlight all those spaces and those wonderful people, like you bringing on Kyra. I could listen to you two just banner for a little bit longer than what you did. I was like, okay, I know they're holding back, but I want to get the juicy details that she's not sharing about Eddie. I can tell it's there. Like she was ready to get you a couple times.
She was ready to wear me out the whole episode. After the episode, of course, she called me. And I was like, Kyra, I'm glad you were on your best behavior.
Oh, see, I want to hear her on her not so best behavior so I can hear what she's got to say.
Oh.
I can tell she has a lot to say. She's not afraid to say it, but she was holding back for us.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. I was like, hold on, girl. But yeah, the work that she's doing in the Memphis area, and even wants to transfer it into Arkansas. So she's with Tia Ware. She founded Tia Ware, and it's really about highlighting the importance of including transmasculine individuals. And so even in my own, for many years, it's not that I left out our transmas siblings. It was just I felt like they had their own space, and that wasn't always the case. And so she talked about how she wants to be a big sister and do all the work that she's doing as a gay mother and translate that into the transmasculine space. So I'm all for it. I'll be there with bells on.
Another one I really enjoy. I did love your talk with, was it Gretchen Von or Von
Yeah,
Gretchen?
Yeah.
I love when people are not afraid to talk about sex, talk openly about it, because I also think that's how we get rid of stigma.
Right.
Like I remember growing up, you didn't really talk about like sex was whispered. Because it was a dirty thing. So I love like hearing people just not be scared to talk about it now.
Yeah. And Von Gretchen is really one who's been around for so many years. I met her a few years ago, actually, when I was working in Memphis, and she comes from that DIS world. And so for people who don't know DIS, that's the disease intervention specialist. So they're more like the ones who, when you do get an STI or when you do get HIV, they're the ones who most times they say, oh, them folks that come knock on your doors. And it's not always the case. It's not that DIS are supposed to be scary. She actually, for the blueprint of me, she changed my view on DIS, because my normal viewpoint was that they're scary people. But she actually was one who was concerned about folks. She actually wanted to create care plans with people. And it was their care plan. It wasn't what she thought that they should be doing. So Von Gretchen taught me a lot. And I'm really grateful that she came on for our August episode.
Me too. I enjoyed that one. I really just enjoy anything where we're trying to. I come from a community where it's not their fault, but they're not educated on a lot of things. It's if someone, let's say you get an STI, they automatically, their mind goes to they're dirty. They must be out there just doing all different kinds of things. And that's not the case. And that's something I'm trying to help get out there. That's why I love this podcast, is we're helping educate, not just inspire, but educate.
Educate and inspire and tickle, because we have some funny moments. We've had some funny moments on the show.
Not even count the stuff that was edited out.
Okay. Shout out to the master editor. Well, Aaron, I definitely want to thank you for being a wonderful producer. I wouldn't even be able to do half of this stuff if we didn't have our talks and brainstorm over many of these things. It's been a fantastic year.
You have brought some great guests. I can't take credit for the people that you brought to the show. So that's all you. But I just help do the day-to-day producing.
Well, we appreciate it. Cool. Do you have any? I normally give people like a final, not a final, but parting words for people. You want to get your Oprah on?
Oh, good. Ooh, I'm not as good as Oprah. I don't often. There's I guess my parting words would be, and I've seen many people say this, and I really like it. There's only one you, so be you. Mm-hmm. And that's something I'm still every day working on, because growing up, you're told to kind of be a certain way, and your voice isn't deep. It took me a long time to love my voice, because I was like, oh, it's too feminine. It's or you go through the drive-thru, get called ma'am, and you're just like, ma'am, but now it's like, no, but that's my voice. That's what makes me great. So I'm just working on being the best me I can be. And I think that's what we should all do.
I love that. I can't remember who it was, but they said, nobody can be a better you than you can. And exactly. So that message that you just gave is really important. Individualization. Nobody can be a better you than you are.
Exactly. And I wish I could remember where I've heard it, but I've heard multiple people say it. And just every time I see it, it clicks in me again. Yes. And reminds me, that's right. Be the best you can be.
I love that, Aaron. All right. Well, as we bring this special holiday episode to a close, I know I'm leaving here with a heart full of gratitude. So thank you all for tuning in. Some of you for even engaging with us online. And most of all, for being a part of a year that's been filled with growth, discovery, and building connections. The holidays reminds us of the power of community. And I know Aaron and I are both honored to have shared this year with you. May you carry the light of these conversations into the new year and ahead. From all of us here at EAC Speaks, happy holidays, and we can't meet you back here in 2025 with some spectacular guests. Take care, spread joy, stay safe, wherever you go. Until next time, ciao.
Ciao.
The EAC Speaks podcast is partially supported by the Arkansas Department of Health through a grant funded in part by the CDC. All discussion is solely the responsibility of each participant and doesn't necessarily represent the official views of Engaging Arkansas Communities, the Arkansas Department of Health, CDC, or the U.S. government.